I then got to watch my friend die. I spent the next 3 months speaking with someone who was slowly succumbing to something, and it was brutal. He passed in February. I remember getting the call. I had just arrived in San Francisco. His brother called me and explained he'd fallen into a coma. There was no way he was coming out of that coma, and his brother explained that the next day they would be unplugging the machines and nature would take its course. And I remember, it's weird what your mind clings to in those moments, but I remember going like, why are we waiting until tomorrow? And he said, I asked that question as well. The guy that does this has already gone home for the day. I've thought a lot about that guy. I think in terms of consequences of a mistake, that man may have the easiest job in the world. What happens when he fucks up at work? Roy, bad day? Yeah, it was a bad day. 3 people lived. And I just remember getting into an Uber that day. The Uber driver said to me, sorry, the back seat's a bit messy. And I just remember being like, I don't give a about your back seat, man. And I just said bigger things, and I started to cry. And I'm not a good crier. If I had to compliment this entire front row, you all look like you cry exceptionally well. You miss especially. It feels like it's like one single tear. Everything that's ever bad has ever happened to you comes out in a sentence. Glass of wine, you off. I am not blessed that way. You see me crying and you don't think, oh, he needs help. You think, I need help. And in the back of that, I just lost my mind. That's not the good cry of the grief period. The best cry of the grief period happened in a grocery store about a month later. Fun fact, everyone, do not cry in a grocery store. Far more echoey than you realize. And the staff will not leave you alone. They will come up with questions like, what are we out of? So I was by the bananas just having a weep. And I like the bananas. It's a place of truth. It's the only food in the grocery store that we all actually know how to identify when it's ripe. How do you know when beef's ready? No idea. It looks red, that's good. You know what I mean? But a banana, you know. You look at it and you go, it's green, that's ready to go. And you take it home and you put it on top of the fridge and it goes from green to yellow to brown and you put it in the bin. And that day I was just, by the bananas, and I felt this tap on my shoulder, and I turned around, and there was just this stranger stood there, and he went, my friend, you look like you could use a laugh. And I said, I could! And then he picked up a banana, and he said, I am from Guatemala, and this banana is from Guatemala. And then he peeled it, ate it, and left without paying. Pausing only at the door to turn back to me and say, I am not from Guatemala! I remember being in that Uber in San Francisco. It took us 45 minutes to get from the airport to my hotel. We pulled in to the hotel car park. The Uber driver turned the car completely off. He undid his seatbelt and he turned completely around to me and he just said, I just want you to know, I have never seen anyone deal with a messy back seat worse than you.